Hello hobbyists, we are back. I am Ian Stuckey, and today we're going with Lucius Mattheson from the tabletop miniatures game Malifaux. So... where is it? There we go. 09116 Brilliant Blue. Okay, so... Lucius Mattheson is a dual-faction guild Neverborn model. Master type, meaning he's a leader in medium and large games. This one's almost empty. I'll have to replace it soon. He was the secretary of the former governor of Malifaux, is the commander of the guild's elite division in Malifaux, is a master manipulator, and a never-born creature called a mimic. Okay, well, this is getting awkward. I guess I'm gonna have to do it the stupid way. Well, minimal choice. Just have to go straight from the bottle in this case, because I am really almost out. Okay. So, as far as I'm aware, Lucius's actual appearance has never been officially revealed. In one of the more recent books, he did take off his mask and dance in the ruins of the governor's mansion after the governor basically blew up, trying to become a god, more or less. And, well, Lucius did take his mask off and dance in the rubble. No one witnessed, so we still don't really know what he looks like under this mask. But the mimics are shapeshifters, so could be anything, or even could be nothing. One awkward bit of assembly on this model where the neck meets the collarbone. Given that this is a solid metal mask, maybe it's part of that, but it's went together kind of oddly. It's not too bad, but still. Whoops. Not quite ready for that one, I don't think. So many colors are touching here. Okay, I suppose 09023 Imperial Purple. Giving the secretary here a royalty-inspired color scheme. Got a bit of long pants or tunic underneath his coat. And of course this long flowing cape. I'll touch up his wig and the trim later, and yeah, that is actually a powdered wig. Malifaux is based on an alternate Earth where magic actually existed, and it's currently the early 1900s in its fiction, so approximately time of World War I, though it's shaping out a lot differently. Weird Miniatures, the publisher, is about to release a new game called The Other Side, based on what's going on with Earth after recent events in Malifaux. And it looks like that's basically going to be their equivalent for their little world of World War I. Though involving more monsters. And the basing on this is, again, hand sculpted. Next time I get a model I intend to do this hand sculpted basing on, I'll go ahead and do a little sculpting tutorial video. Okay, now 09050 antique gold. Carefully get that on the pocket watch he's holding and on the chain. I think that's got it. Get it on the clasps, holding his cape to his coat. Looks like I may have missed a spot of purple. I'll have to touch that up real quick. And then the mask itself. Paint seems to be a bit too watery, but I can roll with it. Making sure the eye holes don't have so much paint in them that they can't be, or that the detail can't be seen. And then I'll have to pull this out later to do the trim on the cloak. A few other details, but which one next? Where is it? 09206 Tarnished steel. Don't need a lot of that. So I'm just giving him a silver cane. You know, when he first appeared in the game, Lucius was actually a henchman-type model and one of the first. But when Malifaux hit their second edition, they just went ahead and upgraded all of the henchmen at that point to full masters, and other significant models got upgraded to henchmen. Let's see. Suppose 09026 Violet Red. It's going to be the color of his coat. Though maybe I should have done this before doing the cape. Might be getting just a bit impatient on these videos and trying to get them out so quickly. Heck, I'll just touch up the watch chain later anyway, since I gotta pull out the gold again for the trim on the cape. Yeah. Because one interesting thing about Lucius being Neverborn is the previous Governor General who went kaboom knew Lucius was Neverborn. It's implied to a certain extent that the governor may have enslaved him magically. So that's, again, that's implied to a certain extent, but not necessarily the actual case, and it's certainly possible I was misinterpreting the bits in the fiction that led me to that conclusion. The current governor of Malifaux, though, only had a few sentences worth of fiction, but it seems he's not the easily manipulated type. Not nearly as power-hungry as his predecessor, and more or less trying to fix the mess that was left behind. And the elite division Mattheson is in charge of, more or less Black Ops. Okay. Now it looks like the back of the cape is dry enough. I can go ahead and do that part of the trim real quick and just carefully go over this design here. Going to overextend a bit. We'll touch that up as we go along. And then, where is it? 09062 leather white. It's going to go on, well, that's a bit too thick. Cuffs. I may want to go over some of the cuff details with gold a little later on. Nicked the red a bit there. I'll just touch it up real quick. This got a few odd bits here. Where the model is assembled, holding that pocket watch. Oh, and I just realized I missed the collar on the coat. Go ahead and get that. Then the ascot. Got that a little too wet. And then the powdered wig. Okay. And then, where is it? Yep. 09161 Shield Brown. A little bit more than that. And that's going to go on the basing. So, the style I do on the styles I do on the basing kind of based off each individual model, not each faction, and kind of based on where these particular characters would be most commonly encountered. And in Mattheson's case, since his favorite weapons are the law he subverts and twists, courtroom, or the mansions of the well-to-do elite of Malifaux would be his favorite battlegrounds, as he manipulates those around him to further his goals, which are actually not really explained. He enjoys manipulating, it seems, but whatever his end goals are, we haven't really been told. I don't know how they think about it. Because up until, oh, what was it? What's the name of that book? Shifting Allegiances? Or something like that. I'm completely blank on the title of the most recent book, or book before last. Twisting Fates, I think. But his actions, it seems, were always tied to those of the governor before the former governor went up in a big ball of fire to see what's going on. But there's plenty of intrigue going around in Malifaux currently. Can't wait to see what the next book looks like when it gets released to the general public soon. Can't remember if they said it was released at Gen Con or not. Well, regardless, that is base coats, and once that's dry, we'll start on shading. Okay, time to start shading. 09061 Linen White. Again, with base coating low to high, shading high area to low area, and highlighting low area to high area. Plenty of water. And carefully dab this in and around the wig. And a lot of that spill over there will get fixed more or less on its own when I shade the cape. Getting the ascot, sleeves, or the cuffs to be more accurate. I try to be as accurate as possible on the names of these things, but even I get things wrong on occasion. And because so many areas are overlapping and touching here, we're going to have to stop at that. Move on when it dries. Okay. Next up is 09049 Ancient Bronze. Don't need much. There's little dots on the medallions. Getting a mask. pocket watch in his hand and carefully tracing the chain. And then this border on the back of the coat, the embroidery, I guess is the right word. Okay. And then 09205 Blackened steel. Don't need much of that. All that's going on is his cane. And I nicked the white. We'll just take care of that real quick. And again. Okay, we'll let that dry and move on. Alright. 09022 Nightshade Purple. Clogged nozzle. Go ahead and get the tunic in there. Be very careful on the shoulders. Just don't want to nick the white. Not the white we want to keep anyway. Nor do we want this getting on the gold. Though since this is a pattern of little loops, fills in part of that, it'll be acceptable. Just want to make sure we don't fill up significant parts of it. Let's see, and that's all we can do for now. Just 3 colors left: the red, the blue, and the wood. Alright. 09025 Burgundy wine. Making sure I got him in frame. Still need to work on the camera work. Being real careful around the collar. A little of this red will probably seep onto the wood, but that's okay. Should be able to fix it when I come to the shading on that part. Okay. A little bit right there. Okay. From that angle, alright. Just 2 more colors left to shade. Alright, next color. 09115 Ritterlich blue. A little more right there. And then Woodstain brown 09160. Oh, is this one about empty too? Looks like it. I think I got a backup for that one. Okay. I just need to wait for that to dry and do highlights. Alright, highlight and detail. Starting off with 09037 pure black. Just a tiny bit of that. That nozzle is clogged again. That should be more than enough. Move my water so I don't put it in, or so I don't put my brush in it. Just the tiniest dot of pure black in the eye slits. Cyan blue 09117. You can tell that one's clogged, and this paperclip's so saturated in paint I don't think I'm going to be able to clear it with. Okay, that's better. Don't need much of this. Where is that little one? There it is. This is just going to go on the gloves. And the pants here. There's a little bit on the neck. It's okay. The red next with 09027, pale violet red. Excuse me. 09207 true silver. Just that little dot of it's going to be plenty. Yes, I am nervous about how much that cane's flailing around as I dry brush. It may have been intended to actually touch the base, but it did not work out that way during assembly. I'm not sure what the intent was, but whatever. 09204 Amethyst Purple. Bit on the inside there. I'm not going to worry too much that I'm catching part of the gold here. It's going to come out in a minute. I'm not sure what's up with my sinuses right this minute. Okay, that's the gold next. 09051 new gold. most important part of this is the mask. Zero 9063 Ghost White. Tiny one. Where is it? There it is. Then using this gold, I'm just going to carefully pick out the little buttons on the coat. Touch up this watch chain a little bit. Okay. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and just carefully pick out some of the embroidery on the cloak that got covered up by the purple a bit too much. Okay. Now for the basing. Oh wait, I'm almost forgetting the Flory standing on Driftwood Brown. 09162. And getting a little ahead of myself, I suppose. What's that? Oh, where'd it go? There it is. If I can get a grip on it. Now to finish up the basing. And since Mattheson is dual faction guild and Neverborn, we're going to take that pale violet red and do half the base in that. Or about half the base in that. And since his other faction is guild, 09003 blood red. And I'm aware this one's about shot too. There it is. Going to avoid getting the edges where the colors will meet for a second here. Going like that, and then we'll take them together. Kind of blend them in. Touch up the Neverborn half. Then we'll touch up on the Guild half. We're doing this with all dual faction models. Then just using a bit of water. No, that didn't work out. I was going to try to blend that a little better, but it just didn't work out. Okay, it happens. Happens. You experiment, and sometimes they don't turn out like you hope. Needs to dry, but that is it. Lucius Mattheson, looking every bit the arrogant monster he is. Going to move on to his totem next, where I'll answer the question, what kind of a monster do you have to be to get Jason Voorhees at your butler? Alright, until next time.